Alright, so in this video we're going to go through the extended response of last year's exam. Remember, you have a calculator. I don't have a calculator on my thing because my trial version ran out. But I'll use a calculator. I'd like you to follow me and try and do as much as you can, or just try to pay attention, because I'm going to go through linear, I'm going to go through algebraic fractions, also go through exponentials and logarithms as best we can. So in this case, now we've got a car hire company, and she has two options. We've got $25 a day plus 10 cents travel per kilometre travelled, and $10 per day plus 45 cents per kilometre travelled. So the cost of can be expressed as this one here. So which one? That is going to be 1. And it says find the expression for Davis. Well, what would Davis be? Well, we've got $10 per day. So the cost for Davis would be equal to 10. This is in dollars, of course. Plus 0.45x, isn't it? Okay, now the whole point of having these two linear equations is that they're going to meet at some point, aren't they? One's going to have a gradient higher than the other. They're going to meet at some point. And if they meet at some point, which one becomes, if let's just say this was we want to find when x is equal to 10 and x is equal to 10 over here, which one's more expensive? This one or this one? If this is the value of x equals 10 here. This one over here is more expensive, isn't it? So the whole point is with these is you might have something where you'll have to find an intersection. Okay, and we'll have to find an intersection we'll have to solve. And remember that your graphics calculator can do all of this. You do not have to do it by hand. This is the important thing about this exam. So you get your 1 mark for stating the correct equation. Mark on a scale on the axis below and sketch both graphs. Well, you need to be able to sketch it with your graphics calculator. So I'll get you to, if you have your graphics calculator, please do so. Sketch both graphs. Let x be from 0 to 150. So 150 is over here. 0 is over here. The y-intercept, or the c-intercept in this case, is equal to, that's 10. Let's just go up in tens, shall we? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. I don't think my trial version's working anymore. I think it's gone, which is very unfortunate. Mark on a scale axis below and sketch both graphs. So I'm just going to get someone's graph here, and I'm just going to pause this. So for this question, it was worth 4 marks. You do it on your graphics calculator, so it's pretty straightforward, but you just got to remember that we could use Control-G or Tab to tab across and put in a second graph. You then needed to use Menu and then Analyze Graph and find the intersection, and you need to state the coordinates, please. So in order to get your marks, you would have got a mark for doing that. You would have got a mark for getting the y-intercepts, the c-intercepts in this case, because that's, and it also says here, you would have also got, actually that says c, so that's okay. That says x, that's okay. So 1 mark here, 1 mark here, 1 mark here, and I guess 1 mark for labelling both graphs, I guess. So, and actually getting the gradient correct. That's about it for me. So let's go on and move on to the next question. Now it says, find the cost of travelling a distance of 135 kilometres with Badgett and Davis. So what's Badgett? Which one was Badgett? Badgett was the first one, was it? 0.1 plus 25. So, C is equal to 0.1 plus 25x, wasn't it? No. X plus 25, and the other one was 0.45x plus 10, wasn't it? Okay. So I'm just... So the answers are there, pretty straightforward, just substitution, isn't it? Now, using your graph or otherwise, find when it would be cheaper to hire a budget car rather than a Davis car. Give your answer correct to 1 decimal place. So when is it cheaper? Which one's budget? This one's budget, isn't it? No. This one's budget. So this one's budget. Now at first, budget's cheaper here, isn't it? Okay, but sorry, this is budget. This is, what's the other one called? Davis. Okay, so at first, Davis is cheaper, isn't it? But then when does budget become cheaper? Budget becomes cheaper after this point, which we've already found. So using your graph, find, so from the graph, when x is equal to, what was x equal to? 42.9. Then it would be cheaper. But what does x mean? What does x mean? Yeah. So what we could say is, therefore, after 42.9 kilometres, you need to interpret it. You need to say that budget is cheaper. Pretty straightforward. We've already done that using our calculator. So if you know how to use your calculator, a lot of these questions, as long as you can interpret the question, it's not any more difficult. It's just understanding what the question's asking you. Casey has daily allowance of $35. Find the greatest distance that she can travel and who she should travel with. So this time what we've got is we've got $35. Now, what I would do is $35, that's the cost. C is equal to $35. The cost is $35. So what we've got to do now is we've got two equations. I'm going to get you to solve, in your calculator, solve 35 is equal to, well, we've got our two equations here. 0.1x plus 25, comma x, and solve, you don't even have to do any working here, 35 is equal to 0.45x plus 10, comma x. I'm going to pause the video here. I'm going to get you guys to do it. Which one's the cheaper? What will give you the greatest distance if you had $35? All right, so in this case, this is what I would do. I'll just write out what you're doing in your calculator, solving, and budget will have a greatest distance, and I'll just put in brackets 100 kilometres. Okay, so I've shown that. That will give me my marks. By stating budget, that will give me a mark, and by showing what the distance is, that will give me a mark as well. Okay? So, that's question 1. Not so bad, is it? It's just that you need to be able to interpret the problem. Now, I'm going to pause this. Shh. I'm going to pause this and get you to have a go. I'd like you to find the gradient of AB. It was a long time ago. Rise over run. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Away you go, please. Have a go, please, at this question. And if you've done that, have a go at part B. Then go through this. Shh. Wonkers. Okay, the gradient of AB. Well, first of all, draw a little triangle. Write out x2 and x1 and so on. X comes before y in the alphabet, but the gradient is equal to rise over run, which you should remember is this y2 minus y1 business. x2 over minus x1. And remember that x1, y1 is the point on the left, i.e. this one, and x2, y2 is this point here. But a lot of you struggle and you do your negatives and you do them the wrong way around, but you should know that the gradient is going to be positive because this guy is like, hey, man, this is like, I'm feeling really positive now because I'm walking up a hill. Okay. Now, all right, so you know your answer's going to be positive. If you get a negative, then you know you've done something wrong, haven't you? Let's go and shove those values in there. Y2. Y2 is 1. Minus. Use brackets, please. Y1 is negative 2. X2 is 6. And X1 minus negative 3.
How can you tell him he's walking up and down?
Well, he's walking up. Look.
Yeah, but he could be walking down depending on which way you're looking.
Do you remember The Price is Right?
No.
And then that guy. Oh, okay.
How do you know he's walking up?
3 over 9, which is equal to 1/3. All right. Now, we've now found. What have we now found in the equation? What have we now found? We've found y equals mx plus c. What have we found?
M.
Oh my goodness. We have found m. Now, we have 2 points. We have 2 points in a line. I'm going to pause this video now. And you're going to find for me the equation of AB then, please. The equation of AB. So, resume. So, from part A, we should have this equation here. Y equals 1/3 x plus c. Now, a lot of you are going, well, how do I go ahead and find c? We've got 2 points in the line. If we're given the y-intercept, it's very easy, isn't it? Because the y-intercept is c. This is the y-intercept. However, by looking at our graph, we're not given any y-intercept, are we? Okay, this guy's like, hey, I don't know what this is. So...
Did you really say that?
No, he didn't. So when x is equal to... I'm just going to pick one of those points on the line. When x is equal to 6, y is equal to 1. And we're going to sub that into our equation. We've only got then one unknown. So what we've got is we've got 1 is equal to 1/3 times 6 plus c. 6 divided by 3 is 2. So therefore c is equal to -1. And guess what? You have a graphics calculator. You didn't even need to do that. You could have said, if you like, you could have said solve. If you like, 1 is equal to 1/3 times 6 plus c if you wanted to. If you were really lazy, you could have done it that way. But I know it's pretty straightforward. So therefore your equation is y equals 1/3 x plus 1. No, minus 1. Okay, and that's your equation. Now, is the line AB perpendicular to BC? I'd like you to think about it. And I'm going to pause this video because BC is this line segment here. Can I get you to work out the line segment BC? Find the gradient. I'm going to pause the video now. All right, so you need to recall, I know that it was a long time ago, that if two lines are perpendicular, in this case, if the lines were AB and BC or whatever it was, if they were perpendicular, then their gradients multiplied would be equal to -1. So in this case, I've found the gradient of CB, which would give me a mark, and then I needed to work out and multiply the gradients. Now we've found the gradient in part B, so I've multiplied those gradients and shown that there's no way they can equal -1. So therefore they are not perpendicular. Now, the next point is the midpoint of BC is point M. So first of all, BC, let's 2861. So I'm going to draw this up here. 2861. And we want to find the midpoint first. Can I get you to do that, please? I'm going to pause the video now and I'd like you to find the midpoint. You do have a bound reference for this one. Exam 1 is skills exam. You don't really need a bound reference. You do need to study, absolutely you need to study. Alright, I'm going to pause here, have a go at this one and find the midpoint M, please. Okay, now first of all, To find the midpoint, we have to add the coordinates and divide by 2. Or it's like the halfway. You could almost go, look, what's the triangle? What's halfway between 2 and 6? Oh my God, that's 4. What's halfway between 1 and 8? Oh my God, that's 4.5. But if you want to do it mathematically, then you need to, so with the midpoint M is equal to the coordinates of, let's add them up if you like, 2 plus 6 over 2, 8 plus 1 over 2, which is equal to 8 over 2 is 4 and 9 over 2 is 4.5. I might just have that as 4.5 for the time being. Now,
What were you going to have it as?
I thought it was
you could have it as 9 over 2. Yeah.
I thought it was x2 minus x5.
No, it's not. So, we've found the midpoint. We found the midpoint is 4.5. Now it says here, we want to find the equation of a line that passes through that point, but is parallel to AB. Now AB is sort of like going like this. Now, what is the line? No, it's not parallel. It's not perpendicular, it's parallel. Now, if it's parallel, what can you tell me about the gradient of this new line? It has the same gradient.
How do you mean that don't intersect?
So, this is not a line though, remember? Okay? AB, AB could be here. Okay, this could be the line AB. It's parallel. Shh. Too much noise. So the gradient of this line is 1/3 because it's parallel to this line here. Same gradient. So what we've got is our equation is y equals 1/3 x plus c. And we now need to substitute. What I can do is I can just substitute that line in, or I could say that 4.5, I'm going to solve that in the calculator because you got a CAS. 4.5 is equal to 1/3 times 4 plus c, comma c. What does c give me? I'm going to pause the video now. Some practice. So I'm going to resume there. So in this case, what we had to do is we knew that if it's parallel to AB, has the same gradient. You need to recognise that. That will give you a mark. Then from there, we needed to state that we had the equation, 1/3 x plus c. We substitute that point, and I solved for c using my calculator, and that gave me an equation of y equals 1/3 x plus 3.17 rounded off to 2 decimal places. Now, another line with the equation passes through AB and AC. Find the coordinates of intersection between them and this new line. So, the new line is we're referring to this one. Okay, oh sorry, another line with the equation. This passes through AB and AC. So AB is equal to, AB, the equation is equal to 1/3 x minus 1. And AC is, what's AC? Did we find the equation of AC? Did we find the equation of AC? Gee, this is a lot of work. Okay, so what you need to do is find the equation of AC, please. And have a go at, what, this is only with 2 marks, okay. We don't want that. Okay, I'm going to pause this now. Have a go at it, please. Okay, so that's the answer there, which I used solving this equation in my calculator. I'm going to stop there.